Okay, we're going to go over solving equations, which many of you probably remember how to do this, but we're going to go ahead and review. So the first problem is x plus 2 equals 6. Now remember, when we solve equations, that equal sign means whatever is on the left has to equal the value on the right. So first step, we drew our line, and in order to get the variable, or x by itself, we had to do the inverse operation, which would be subtract 2 from both sides. Positive 2 and negative 2, that is 0. So you have that x equals 4. Now, at this point, remember we checked our work. So we need to rewrite the equation that we were given at the very beginning. Then we need to substitute 4 in for x. So 4 plus 2. And then we have to solve this. What is 4 plus 2? It is 6. So 6 equals 6. And there's a check mark saying that we checked it. We'll do one more addition. I have 10 equals g plus 4. I need to draw my line. My variable this time is on the right side here. So I need to get rid of positive 4. So the inverse of plus 4 is to subtract 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. I'm left with g, and then this is 0. So I have that 6 is equal to g. So go back to the original equation. Substitute 6 for the letter g. So 10 equals, instead of g, I put 6. And what is 6 plus 4? It is 10. So we are correct. Now we're going to do subtraction. For subtraction, it's the same thing. We're going to do inverse operation. So I have y minus 6 equals 20. Always draw your lines so you know whatever you do on the left, you have to do on the right. In order to get y by itself, I have to do the inverse of subtracting 6, which means I'm adding 6. On the left side, minus 6 plus 6, that is 0. So I get that y is equal to 26. Once again, let's check our work. Start with the original equation, substitute my answer in, and then when I solve this side, 26 minus 6, it is 20. And I was trying to get 20. So the value of y is 26. Let's go ahead and do one more subtraction. I have 13 equals x minus 1. Draw my line. My variable is on the right side. So in order to get x by itself, I need to do the inverse of subtracting 1. I need to add 1. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. 13 plus 1 is 14. X minus 1 plus 1, these two would be 0. So I get that 14 is equal to x. Check my work. I write the original equation down. Then I take out the variable and I put in 14. And then bring down the minus 1. And then I solve. What is 14 minus 1? It is 13. So I've checked my work. Now we'll do some decimals. We're going to do one addition and one subtraction with decimals. So I have 6 and 4/10 equals x plus 2.1. This is the exact same as we did before. I have my variable over here, so I need to eliminate 2 and 1/10. So you would subtract 2.1 from both sides. 6.4 minus 2.1 is 4.3, and that is equal to x. So now I need to check my work. So I rewrite the original problem. 6.4 equals x plus 2.1. Draw my line. I'm going to substitute my answer in for the variable. 6.4 equals 4.3 plus 2.1. 6.4 equals, if I put that in my calculator, I do get 6.4. So I have checked my work. My answer is correct. Now we're going to do subtraction of decimals. 9.6 equals y minus 3.4. Draw my line. I'm going to do the inverse to get my variable by itself. So I'm going to add 3.4 to both sides. When I put 9.6 plus 3.4 in my calculator, I get 13 equals y, because those cancel. So now we need to check our work. 9.6 equals y minus 3.4. Write it again, except put your answer in for y, 13 minus 3.4. And then if I put that in my calculator, 13 minus 3.4, I do get 9.6. Now we're going to move on to multiplication. So for your multiplication, 3x equals 18. Now, remember when we know that there's a number that's right next to a letter, that means to multiply. So this means 3 times a number is equal to 18. So in order to do the opposite of multiplication, we're going to divide each side by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we would write 1x, but we never write the coefficient of 1. So it's just x, and then 18 divided by 3 is 6. So now when we check our work, we have 3x equals 18. I take the 6 and I substitute it in for my variable. And remember how we talked about that I don't just plug it in like that, because now that looks like 36. I need to put parentheses around it because we want to multiply the numbers. So it's 3 times 6, which is 18. So I'm correct. Another multiplication, 24 equals 8y. That's 8 times y. Draw my line. My variable is over here, so I need to do the inverse of multiplying by 8, which means I need to divide each side by 8. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 8 divided by 8 is 1y, but that is just y. So I'm getting 3 for a solution for y. So now let's try it. I do 24 equals 8, and instead of y, I substitute the value that I got, which is 3. So 24 equals 8 times 3 is 24. So we are correct with that. Now we're going to go ahead and do a multiplication of decimals. If I have 9.72 equals 3.6y, I draw my line. I have my variable on the right here, so I need to divide each side by 3.6 because this is multiplication. So divide by 3.6, divide by 3.6. 9.72 divided by 3.6 is actually 2.7. And 3.6 divided by 3.6 is 1y, but we don't write the 1. So I get 2.7 as my answer. So now I need to check my work. 9.72 equals 3.6 times what I got for, oh, hold on, let's write the original equation, y. 9.72 equals 3.6 times, I got 2.7. 9.72. And on a calculator, if I press 3.6 times 2.7, I do get 9.72. Last one now. The last one is division. Okay, so division, we can see it in different ways. Here is the original way that you guys know for division problems. X divided by 6 equals 42. I draw my line. I need to do the inverse of dividing by 6, so you're going to multiply each side by 6. Some of you would have thought that x was 7, because 7 times 6 is 42, but remember, we want a larger number here. A large number divided by 6 is 42. So x divided by 6 times 6, on the left we get just x, and 42 times 6 is 252. So now let's check my work. Write the original problem. X divided by 6 is equal to 42. I'm going to substitute my answer, 252, divided by 6. I want to see if that's equal to 42. I put that in my calculator, and I am correct. 42 is going to be my 252 divided by 6. The next one that we are going to work on is another division problem, but it looks a little bit different. Some of you, when you read that problem, you're going to think, oh, 3, 21, it would be 7, because 7 times 3 is 21. Well, if I substitute 7 in for y right here, 7 divided by 3 is not 21, okay? So remember, we have to do the inverse. So draw your line. This fraction bar means to divide. So this right here, let me change colors for a minute here. This problem, that sign and that both mean to divide. So you've got to make sure that you don't get confused with that. So y divided by 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 because the opposites cancel. So then you get just y on this side, and 21 times 3 is 63. And once again, we've got to check our work. So some number divided by 3 is equal to 21. We're going to take 63 and substitute it in there. Is 63 divided by 3 going to equal 21? Yes, it is. When you put that in your calculator, it's going to check out. Okay? We're going to do one more here. The last one we're going to do is 33 equals y divided by 11. Some of you, once again, you see 33 and 11, and you're probably thinking the answer is 3. Well, it's not, because I have to get a large number divided by 11 is 33. So the opposite of dividing by 11 is multiplying each side by 11. So 33 times 11 is 363. That is equal to y. And now I'm going to check my work. Remember, over here, that divide by 11 and the times 11, that cancels. That's why I only have my y, okay? So rewrite the original problem. 33 equals y divided by 11. Substitute my answer in. 33 equals 363 divided by 11. And when I punch this right side of my calculator, 363 divided by 11, I do get 33. So my answer is correct.